everyone, it's Ailin here, back again with another video. I've really missed you guys. It's been a while since I turned on the camera and recorded some videos for you guys, but today I decided that today is going to be video recording day. I'm going to get through as many questions as possible, as many of your questions as possible, and perhaps record a video on just one particular detox topic. I thought that would be really fun. And so yeah, I'm gonna just jump right into it because it's been a while and I know you guys have been waiting, and I really just want to be there for you guys. I know all of you are in the midst of your detox. Some of you are doing fantastic work and seeing many results, and other people are, going through detox symptoms. The road can be really bumpy and rocky sometimes during your detox journey, but always just hang in there, because what ends up happening is you just have that faith and that patience and that trust in the detox process, and before you know it, you're out of that zone, out of that rocky zone, and you're already, regrowing your hair back, getting your vitality and energy back again, shrinking cysts, shrinking tumors, all that stuff is going to occur. You just have the patience, and if you feel like you need a little tweaks within like the herbs that you're taking or your diet, then that's when you reach out to me. I have a lot of experience with many different clients over the years, helping them detox, helping them actually heighten their detox to where it should be, the level where it should be, so that they can finally start to see results, right? So you have all the tools that you need, guys. So never worry, never stress, never fear. You got this as long as you follow the raw food diet and you just keep on doing your best every single day. Then you're golden. Then you're good to go, and then you're going to heal everything, okay? So yeah, so let's get into your questions here. Let me see. There's a lot of questions, but I'm probably going to do I'm going to try and do at least 6 questions today. I thought about, and you guys can let me know, I thought about maybe doing shorter videos, maybe taking each question and dividing it into their own videos, because I know you guys may have noticed that I tend to take one question and talk about that entire case for about half an hour, and then the next question for another half an hour, and then the next question for 20 minutes. And so these Q&A videos, they end up being very long, but then people, they kind of struggle to find the information that they need since it's within a whole Q&A video, right? And so for any of the Q&A videos that I have done so far, I hope you guys know that you can check in the description box below, and there's timestamps there, so you can review each question, each topic, and it'll have the timestamp where you can go directly to that point in the video and have me talk about that topic. But for those people that don't know, any new people coming to the channel, I thought maybe I should do just one video covering each type of question. That way I can title it that sort of topic. Like if the topic is on uterine fibroids, got you covered. I'm discussing that all there. So let me know what you guys think about that idea. You can leave your input down in the comment section below, or any questions that you have, anything that comes up, you can feel free to leave it down in the comment section, and I'll read it, and we're just brainstorming ideas here, and we'll see what we do to move ahead. So yeah, so let's start this question. Hi Ailin, I'm excited. I always love Q&A videos. Hi Ailin, I recently got one of your videos in the autoplay suggestions and loved it and subscribed. Because I've been researching on a couple of things in particular about detox too. About 6 months ago, my test showed uterine fibroids grown considerably since 5 years ago when they were just 1 centimeter. Okay, so I hope you mean that they're 1 centimeter right now, but I think that you mean that they've grown considerably since about 5 years ago when they were just 1 centimeter. Ooh, this is not good, because when it's at 1 centimeter, that's about the size of a pea. That's very easy to detox. But if you say that it's grown past that point, maybe like a grape or a strawberry, then you really have to dig deep to get this out of there. Showed uterine fibroids and bladder tumor, which was now about 1 centimeter. Okay, so now your bladder tumor is 1 centimeter. So what it sounds to me like is happening is you're pretty much building up all this lymphatic stagnation all throughout that region of your body. Your bladder and your uterus, they're right there. They coincide right there in the same section in the lower abdominal region. So what this tells me is that at some point you lost your kidney filtration, your ability and your system to filter out cellular waste, because all these formations that you have here, fibroids, cysts, tumors, pimples, all of these things, the root cause lies in the sewer system of the body not functioning, okay? So for all of you that are new to my channel, we really focus on cleaning out the lymphatic system and the channels that are tied directly to the lymph system in order to eliminate these wastes, because these formations that are occurring and building up, fibroids and tumors, they're nothing but pocketed areas of lymphatic stagnation and lymphatic sewage. So in people that have tumors or cysts or fibroids, if you can picture this, our bodies are nothing but trillions of cells. All these cells, they keep you alive. They really try to, they love you and they try to help you survive. They run all these processes so you can breathe, so you can gain energy from the food that you eat and all those things. But, with activity also comes waste development. So every single cell intakes nutrition, uses it to run its processes in the body, but then at the same time it creates waste. So where do all these wastes go? Well, in people that have very sluggish lymph systems, the lymph system is where all these wastes are supposed to be carried, and then through the lymph system they're carried to the kidney channels. Those are the main channels that pretty much detox and get rid of and eliminate all these different cellular wastes from the body. So if any of these channels are blocked or obstructed, let's say if someone has a very stagnant lymph system, there's many different factors that go into that. Maybe they grew up on dairy products or animal proteins. Those things are very sluggish to the lymph system. Maybe they have a genetic weakness in the thymus gland that directly affects the lymphatic system through the T cells and the macrophages. Those guys, they help destroy and help engulf all toxicity, all proteins, all invaders, mutated cells, cancer cells. Maybe that's down, or maybe it's the kidneys themselves that are down. Maybe they're genetically weak, or maybe they've been weakened with many years of eating protein foods. So all these things have to be looked at. And as a detox specialist, this is what I do. I would pretty much look into your entire case and see what was your health history like. If all these things, like if any of these things, when you're listening to this video, if you've kind of like, okay, that's kind of me, that's being checked off, then that's going to be a root cause of why you're forming these things. Another thing that's very, very outstanding every single time I see cases like these is sometimes, I'd say about half of the time, these types of people have sulfur deposits in their body. Sulfur coming from excessive use of antibiotics, or maybe not even excessive use, maybe just one time they took an antibiotic. That one time is enough to suppress the lymph system, to create a glue-like consistency in the lymph system, making it very sluggish, unable to remove cellular waste from the body. So this is why these things happen, okay? So we're gonna move on, but I really wanted to cover the lymph system and the kidneys and how that kind of works, which is why kidney filtration is so important in getting rid of these types of issues. Okay, so the doctors were of the opinion that the tumor was a more serious concern, so I got a resection done followed by immunotherapy. Okay. So you got rid of the tumor. I know, however, that I wanted to do natural therapies, and since all the doctors I met wouldn't really focus on my nutrient deficiencies, vitamin C, D, B12, etc., even my thyroid showed a slight imbalance, for which my pulmonologist wanted to give me hormones, besides steroids given for the past 3 years. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. Let's back up a little bit. So you got the tumor removed, and then you followed by immunotherapy. You wanted to do natural therapies since the doctors didn't really focus on your nutritional deficiencies. Okay, so if you're someone that has nutritional deficiencies, this goes back to other parts of the body. For anyone that has vitamin C deficiency, it's very, very difficult to have vitamin C deficiency. That's not something that's too common. If you have that, it really means that you're probably not intaking enough fruits. Fruits are very, rich in vitamin C. All types of fruits are, not just oranges, but berries. These are the foods that have all types of flavonoids and phytonutrients. Also very important to the lymph system and the immune system. But that, in a rare case, someone that does not eat enough fruits will have vitamin C deficiency. Now, there could be a malabsorption factor going in with that. If your colon is very occluded with a lot of mucus in the intestinal tract, then you're probably not absorbing the nutrition from your foods. Or perhaps you're having trouble digesting your foods, breaking them down before the absorption process can take place, which the pancreas is directly tied to that, the breaking down of carbohydrates from the pancreas. So let's move on. B12 deficiency. B12 deficiency definitely stems from adrenal gland weakness. So you would have to perk up your adrenal glands with a very powerful adrenal gland formula, or maybe an adrenal glandular, depending on what your weakness looks like with your adrenals. And vitamin D, that has to deal with whether you're going out into the sun, getting enough sunlight, that's where we get our vitamin D from, or the condition of your liver, since the liver also ties and deals with vitamin D in the body. Okay, moving on to that, but definitely everything that I'm seeing here so far is you probably have colon issues, you have to detox the colon, adrenal gland weakness, definitely stemming from that, probably liver, all these different things, they're all connected, because definitely I do believe you have some colon stagnation. Well, if you have GI tract colon stagnation, the liver is just a branch of the colon, so that would make sense that would start backing up. Now, because you have tumors and fibroids, the adrenals are right there on top of the kidneys, so you would have to invigorate the adrenals, heal the adrenals. Those adrenal glands are the floodgates to help the kidneys open, to eliminate all the cellular waste of the body. The adrenals deal with steroids and neurotransmitters that help the kidneys to relax and open. Remember that detoxification is a relaxation and a stress-free time for your body to deal with and eliminate all these wastes. Okay, so you can't really eliminate too well when you're under stress. Maybe some of you guys have noticed that once you start to relax and become at peace with yourself and really focus on your detox and focusing on yourself, like me time, then you're finally able to get your kidneys to start filtering, or finally your symptoms start to, go down and go away. Or even people that have constipation issues, chronic constipation issues, people that have constipation issues, when they are finally given the chance to relax and de-stress, then they can use the bathroom. It's because these adrenal glands control the elimination pathways. So almost always will I recommend someone to address their adrenals. Pretty much everyone has some level of adrenal weakness in today's society. Okay, so moving on. Even my thyroid showed a slight imbalance. They wanted to give me hormones besides steroids given for the past 3 years. So if you've been giving steroids for the past 3 years, then you know that your glands are down. Anytime you're given something that your body's supposed to produce naturally on its own, then the body then becomes lazy. It says, okay, you're giving me whatever I'm supposed to be making. Why should I be making it for you? So that did a number on your glands as well. Your adrenals, your pituitary, whatever type of steroid they gave it to you for. But now they want to give you hormones. I do not recommend that. Really try and address this the natural way. Now, doctors and the medical community, they really work from a standpoint of they see a symptom and they're trying to get rid of it. It's like they're trying to attack it, right? When in the realm of true healing, you have to pretty much view symptoms as a blessing. Like, wow. You view it this way, like, wow, my body loves me so much that it's actually warning me of dysfunction within, trying to give me a sign and a hint of what's going on inside of me. what areas are obstructed or congested, what areas are weakened and are not producing its hormones or steroids as it should, you know. These symptoms, these different symptoms, like what you're seeing here, the formation of fibroids and tumors, that should tell you like, wow, I really need to clean up my diet and only eat fruits that are highly astringent, highly alkaline, and highly hydrating in order to move this lymph system through and get the kidneys to filter to eliminate these tumors and fibroids, right? So never view these symptoms as a burden. Really, it's just signs. And you know, as a detox specialist, it's very easy for me to say that because I see it all the time, and that's what I do is I look at all of your symptoms and I put all these puzzle pieces together. Well, if I didn't have these symptoms, I would only have half of the picture, you know, what I see in your eyes. So symptoms are very useful, and you guys should really embrace your symptoms, you know, and not really, don't pretty much like throw yourself a pity party with these symptoms or see them as an inconvenience, you know, because that road does not lead to healing. Embracing where you are right now in your health and using this knowledge to your advantage, that is what will get you down that true healing path, right? Okay. So I began to work on my own. I take green tea with juice and half a lemon. I throw the lemon rind in after juicing into the tea. Then a huge bowl of fruits, yogurt with 1 tablespoon pounded flax seeds. Okay. Followed by oats. Let's stop right there. So I would probably ditch the green tea because green tea contains caffeine, and that's only going to burden your adrenal glands even more and burn them out. So remove the green tea. I can understand if you're someone that has been drinking maybe coffee. Let's say if you drank coffee for several years and now you're doing green tea instead, that's going to be better. But if you don't need the green tea, there's nothing beneficial in green tea for you right now at all, and even for anyone in health. You know, I know they say that green tea, it contains antioxidants and vitamin C, but fruits also contain that without the addictive properties of caffeine or the burnout properties of caffeine that comes from green tea. So definitely recommend for you to remove that. And then a big thing here, I mean, the half a lemon is excellent. Lime is excellent. That really, like, it's one of the most powerful fruits that helps pull and tug on the lymph system and all these acidic wastes that are right now trapped in these formations in your body. Okay, so I would say keep the lemon, do lemon juice, just water with a ton of lemon juice, as much as you can handle it. That's going to be far more beneficial for you. Then you have a huge bowl of fruits, that's great, but then you have a yogurt with 1 tablespoon pounded flax seeds, followed by oats. All these things are very congestive. Yogurt, you can pretty much think of any sort of dairy product as just congestive to the lymphatic system and also congestive to the glands, because nothing congests the thyroid, the parathyroid, you know, the colon, nothing congests it more. The sinuses, the head, all that stuff, nothing congests it more than dairy products. And if you want to test it out for yourself, you can do like a few weeks on fruits and then have something with dairy. Like just have a few weeks on only fruits, all fruits or all raw foods, have dairy, and you'll see how bad dairy is for your body. You'll experience a headache or diarrhea or just a lot of mucus congestion start to form. So definitely get rid of that. Now, a tablespoon of flax seeds, you don't really need that, to tell you the truth. If you're trying to get like fiber from your food, or if you're trying to get omegas from that, then that's not what you really want to focus on right now, because that could slow down your detox and actually hinder your progress from trying to reach these deeper issues, okay? So this is, you know, seeds and nuts, those are things that you can focus on after detox, after you've cleaned your body out completely, because these things, any sorts of like proteins, they're only going to add to the problem. Even plant-based proteins in people that are too acidic. Some people are so highly acidic that every time they take in something like a seed or you know, a nut or nut butter or you know, like hemp seeds or any sort of like plant-based protein, then they can become inflamed. Some people can get edema. Some people can start experiencing kidney pain, lower back weakness. You can really feel that when your body becomes more and more sensitive and more highly tuned on the raw food diet. Then your body tells you like, okay, this is good for me, this is bad for me. And let me tell you guys, any person that goes on the raw diet that is high fruit and is actually on the detox process, they do not like protein. You immediately feel, it's like your body's trying to tell you like, don't give me this food because I'm doing great where I'm at now. Don't give me protein because you're slowing down my detox and harming my kidneys, right? So I would recommend, you don't need the flax seeds. Oats are extremely harmful. Oats, pretty much think of oats like paper mache. They're pretty much in the same category as rice. If you were to take oats and boil them, and they're very sticky, they're very gooey, right? If you notice that, that's the same thing that happens inside your colon. Very sticky and gooey. That's not what you want. You want to be able to have the colon to be nice and clean and smooth, right? And properly hydrated. Oats, very congestive, very abrasive to the intestinal tract. That's not what you want, especially when you're trying to heal things that are in the lower abdominal region, like the bladder and the uterus. The colon is directly tied to that. We're gonna go a little bit more into that right now. It says here that you have whole grains or some other healthy breakfast. The only breakfast you should be having is fruits or a smoothie or fruit juices. Always start your day with fruits at all times, because when you wake up in the morning, right, you have been experiencing a natural fast at nighttime. You haven't eaten for maybe 8, 10, maybe even 12 hours if you have an early dinner, right? So you want something to be you want your breakfast to be very light to break your fasting that you do every single day at night, right? So you want something to be hydrating, since you're pretty dehydrated at night. At nighttime, your body has been dealing with getting rid of a lot of waste, so you want to provide a nice medium, a nice solution, hydration, in order to carry all those wastes out and rehydrate your body. So you should always start your day with fruits, and that goes for anyone. Even if you don't have a disease or an illness, for good health, you always want to start and have your breakfast always be some sort of fruit. It says right here, I've also included raw salads, but most of my meals are cooked. So yeah, so the raw salads, think of raw salads as something that would be like a treat or like a balancing meal within your raw diet. That's what I recommend for you right now. Turn 100% raw, and if it were me, I would do 100% fruit, or at least 95% fruit, right? And anytime you feel like you want something other than fruit, then that's when you can have your salad. But salads should be, like maybe like 20% of your diet, as small as you can make it, because salads are more like building blocks, and they're more builders for the body. With lymphatic issues such as yourself that you have, you don't want something that's too building all the time. You want something that has astringency. Greens do not have that astringent power to pull and tug on the lymph system and to pull and tug on the cellular waste that are acidic, that are chewing away at your tissues and cells. That's what cancer is. You didn't say if it was cancerous, you said it was a tumor, but don't wait until it becomes cancerous is what I'm pretty much saying. You want to address all these acids right now with the fruits. Let's see what else you have here. I'm finally beginning to feel healthy with the initial panic subsided. But now I'm worrying a bit about the kidneys. I'm due for another checkup now, and I'm taking heart from your advice in this video about grapes, lemons, and juicing. We've got a pretty hot summer here in Indiana, so I'll be going on a raw, not Indiana. We've got a pretty hot summer here in India, so I'll be going on a raw diet with mainly salads. Okay, so go on a raw diet, but keep the salad down to a minimum, okay? Like 20% or less. And some days you shouldn't even have any salads. If you're up to it, you know, after a few weeks of doing all raw with like 80% fruits and 20% salads, I would say jump into some sort of fast. If you can handle it, if you see that your detox symptoms like are not too intense, I would say go on some sort of grape fast or lemonade juice fast or orange fast or watermelon fast, a mono fruit fast, right? Or a mono juice fast. That's going to be fantastic and help you dig even deeper, okay? One reason I haven't bothered with a ketogenic diet is I can't handle the thought of raw meat. Could you please advise on what else I could add? Okay, so yeah, do not go the ketogenic diet path, because with the ketogenic diet, that's high fat and high protein, which initially some people can feel a little bit better on, because whenever you include high fats, then if your body is extremely acidic and inflamed, adding dietary fats can buffer those acids initially. But what happens is with all this buffering comes congestion. Fats are congestive to the body, and what will end up happening is your kidneys will not be filtering, more acids will start to stack up, and then boom, next month, the next few weeks, or next year, your health issues are going to be 1,000 times worse. The clients that come to me all the time, like so many of them, have followed the ketogenic diet for like years before, or right before coming to me, because they didn't see results and actually their symptoms got worse, or they've become bedridden. We see that all the time. So guys, don't waste your time with the ketogenic diet. It's not strong enough to heal chronic health issues, and it's actually even harmful to most people, okay? And with that ketogenic diet is high protein. So if you're worried about your kidneys, I would, let go of that ketogenic diet modality or mentality, because nothing wrecks the kidneys more than proteins do. Now, to heal the kidneys, I would recommend for you, anytime we're dealing with tumors or with like congestive lymphatic issues that are serious like this, you would want to be on many kidney formulas. I recommend kidney bladder tincture number 1, recommend kidney number 3 capsules, and I would even throw in there kidney number 4 tincture. Try and be on 3 kidney formulas, okay? And if your kidneys start to filter, initially I would start with lymphatic number 1 tincture, something gentle, while you're transitioning to the raw diet and fruit diet, and check to see if you are filtering when you're on the raw diet, okay? Checking how to filter, you would need to get a clear glass, okay? Get a clear glass like a mason jar and pee in it. And if you see that there's like cloudy urine in there, or flakes floating around, or something settled on the bottom, then you know that you have kidney filtration. What you see in that jar, that's all the acids and cellular wastes that were in your body that are actually causing you your illness. So if you achieve this kidney filtration and you achieve it consistently, if you check it often and you see it consistently, then your tumors and all lumps and bumps in your body are going to start going down and disappearing. Okay, it's not enough to go on the raw diet and not have kidney filtration, because then what's going to happen is you're going to be pulling up all these wastes interstitially, and then they will be recirculating in your body. You might feel a little better, moving these acids around, because they're not settling deep in the crevices and burning, but you're not getting rid of the problem. This is the same thing that happens with when people exercise and they're like, oh, I feel better, I feel less stiff. But then when they stop exercising, it's worse, They feel extremely stiff even before they started, okay? So don't get caught in that loop. You have to get your kidneys to filter. Now, in order to achieve kidney filtration, we discussed that in the beginning of this question that I was answering. It's, addressing the different weaknesses in your body. What you've told me, you probably have, it's very easy to assume that you have adrenal weakness, you have kidney weakness, you have lymphatic issues. So you need herbs to address these weaknesses. So the 3 kidney formulas, lymphatic number 1. If your kidneys are filtering, then go on a stronger lymphatic formula. I would say maybe go to do some lymph node number 2 tincture, and gradually increase the lymphatic formulas the more you feel comfortable with that, okay? Don't go too harsh on the kidney, on the lymphatic formulas initially, because if you do and your kidneys are not filtering, then you will start to experience blowing up of the skin rashes, or you can experience tumors growing bigger, okay? So you want to be gentle with the lymph formulas, but if you see that kidney filtration, go hard on the lymphatic formulas, okay? So going back to the herbs, take a stomach and bowel formula. Depending on the number of bowel movements that you have, they have number 0 through number 5, you figure that out. And then take lymphatic capsules, okay? Lymphatic tinctures versus lymphatic capsules. How do they differ? Well, lymphatic tincture addresses everything through the lymph vessels, the lymph nodes, you know, that main system. But lymphatic capsules addresses the lymphatic system in the digestive tract, since they're in capsule form, okay? So they go through the digestive system, they start pulling and tugging. Get a lymphatic capsule as well as stomach and bowel formula. Now, it says right here that you have a little bit of thyroid weakness, you said, slight imbalance. I mean, it's very difficult to tell how your thyroid is through blood work, since it's very inaccurate. Some people can have, you know, high TSH or low T3, low T4, when it's not accurate. Some people's thyroids are functioning normally and the blood test doesn't show that. But some people actually have very weak thyroids and the blood test does not show that. It can go vice versa. So the best way to determine whether your thyroid is functioning well or not is to do the basal temperature test. Now get yourself a mercury thermometer, you know, the old school ones, and then what you pretty much want to do is you want to shake it down and put it next to your bedside at nighttime. And then right upon waking up, before you get out of bed or before you do anything, put that under your armpit and leave it there for 10 minutes. And then read it out loud, like read it out and see the temperature. If the temperature is between 97.8 98.2 degrees Fahrenheit, then you are within healthy ranges of your thyroid functioning correctly, okay? But if you are anywhere below that, like in the 97s or 96, then you have low thyroid function. Now, what I recommend for people is to take and spend some time decongesting the thyroid gland, because sometimes thyroids can be down just from mucus congestion, okay? Now, I would be able to tell you if you have a genetic thyroid weakness or if it's in a chronic condition if I got a picture of your eyes. If I see your eyes, and you know, those that are working with me, you know that I look at your eyes and I read your eyes, because the eyes tell everything. In the eyes, you can see what condition each organ and gland and system is in. Everything is revealed. And an iridologist like myself, we can put all these puzzle pieces together. But not every iridologist is going to be, you know, helpful on your journey. Those iridologists that are focused on detoxification and true iridology, like myself, and use detoxification to create and use all those symptoms and signs to create a diet protocol and an herbal protocol and detox tools to, you know, reverse disease conditions, then that's the type of iridologist you want to go to. Because I cannot tell you guys how many times those of you that have come to me, you know, having gone to an iridologist, and then you guys come to me and say, I wish I didn't go to that iridologist because they didn't do anything. You know, they didn't give me a protocol, or their report was so vague, you know, it wasn't accurate. You know, I've heard that and seen that all the time. So don't go to iridologists, you know, even if like in person, you know, in-person ones are not that great either, just from what I've seen. And this is not me, guys. This is thousands of people that have come to me that have regretted going to other iridologists. So, you know, iridology, all that can be done online. Just send the photos and we create an iridology report for you, very accurate, and we discuss it during your consultation. And no, you guys know that I'm very in-depth and like nothing is overlooked when creating my protocols, right, for you guys. But yes, if I had your eyes, then I'd be able to tell you if that thyroid weakness is in a chronic state or not, okay? But if you do not know, just work on decongesting the thyroid and seeing if those basal temperatures go back up to that you know, to those numbers, 97.8 and higher. Now, if that doesn't work, then you need a thyroid formula. You can think about getting the thyroid thymus formula or the endocrine balance formula. That'll address your thyroid gland, pick that up in function, or if you get the endocrine balance, then you address everything, okay? But pretty much starting on your detox, you always want kidney formula, lymphatic formula, something for your glands like endocrine balance or adrenal or thyroid, something like that, right? And then you want stomach and bowel formula. Those are the 4 golden ones that you at least want to begin with. And in the chronic condition of everyone's health today, in today's society, you pretty much are guaranteed that if your health issues are severe, you're going to need more than that, right? Depending on your weaknesses seen in your eyes. But yeah, let's see what else you can add here. Honestly, since you are just beginning on your detox journey, you're still having dairy, I would just focus on those things right now. There are a few other things that we can add, but I wouldn't want to give you too much to start off with, because then you could go too aggressively. There is such a thing as going too aggressively when just beginning, right? And later on, I would say do that do that for like a few weeks or a few months, and then see what your test results show. Go back and see. Do something like an ultrasound. That would be the safest bet. I would never ever recommend for you to get a biopsy done in any way, shape, or form. At this point, doesn't matter if it's cancerous or not, just get rid of the lump, okay? Just get rid of the tumor in any way you can. And it sounds to me like with your fibroids, you also have lymphatic congestion in the reproductive system, generally speaking. So what I would do is I would probably get the Heal All Tea, right? And that could also be pretty useful for your bladder, right? Because even if you've had tumors removed, remember, it has not gotten rid of the main issue, okay? Which is the lymph system and the kidneys tied to that. Removing a tumor does not take away the problem. You still have acidosis backed up from head to toe. And if you don't correct your diet, it's going to form again. People can reform tumors in a matter of weeks or just a few months. I've seen that happen. Or, if you remove an entire organ surgically because you have cancer in that organ, what happens? You can get cancer in that same place again. That happens all the time when people don't change their diets and don't address this correctly. So I would say, with the fibroids and with the bladder even, get the Heal All Tea. You're going to use it 2 ways, okay? You're going to douche with the Heal All Tea, prepare it, and then do the douching at least for 2 weeks. That gets rid of any atypical cells or mutated cells that you could have in that region. And that also addresses the pulling of the lymph system through that channel, because the vaginal wall, that can also be an exit port for females. That's an advantage that we have that extra channel of elimination through there, right? And then what I would do is, after doing that, and even during doing that, you would want to drink the Heal All Tea. Drink that. It's very soothing to the bladder and to the kidneys, So if you have like any acidosis in the bladder, clearly you do, you want to drink that Heal All Tea several times a day, okay? And I think that that does it. But I really hope that helps you get started on your healing journey. And if after you try all these things and you're still not seeing progress, then you can definitely reach out to me to work with me one-on-one, and I'd love to help you out in healing your health issues. Okay, guys. I wonder how long that was. While answering this question, I had to get up about 3 times because one time the camera stopped recording. The other time the camera died, and the other time, what was the other time? Probably the camera stopped recording again, right? So these videos, with my camera, it's a very, very good camera that I have. It's a DSLR camera, but it's not like, the standard video recording camera. I have a camera that can also take beautiful shots, which, I appreciate because of all the photos that I've taken for Instagram in the past, right? So I really wanted a camera that could do both, but the downside to that is these cameras can't usually record for longer periods of time. Like usually after 30 minutes it stops recording, so then I have to get up and so I can kind of get in the way of the flow sometimes, but it's okay, it'll do. So yeah, so thank you for your question, by the way. I really loved answering it, and I love taking you guys through all the steps with your detox. Now, for anyone that's new to detoxification and you're kind of like trying to find your footing with the diet, or you don't know what's okay to have, or maybe you're lacking in ideas and recipes, or maybe you just want like, you know, detox tips or someone to kind of like hold your hand throughout your journey, or maybe you have some like mental or emotional blocks around the raw diet or fears around it, then I do recommend like get my book, get my new detox book that's called Master Your Detox, the transitional guide. That's on my website, and I created that guide because I really wanted you guys to have something where it's kind of like I'm there with you and I can help you go through the detox process so that you can finally heal all your health issues. So yeah, I definitely recommend that book. And I'll put the link in the description box down below so that you guys can get it for those who are interested. Okay, so now on to the next question. Number 2, would you ever consider doing a video for people at a plateau in detox? I feel like I can't move forward no matter how good my diet is with herbs, fasting, juicing, etc. It's so frustrating, which then leads me to just eat more balanced because I can't handle the mental stress of trying to be so perfect on the diet and not seeing results. Thanks, sis. Love what you do. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, you know, with plateauing, that is just something that naturally occurs in many people, right? So whenever you reach a plateau, you just have to get more strict, okay? Anyone that starts the raw diet, like let's say if someone starts a 100% raw diet and, you know, they're including, you know, avocados every night with their salads, maybe sometimes they include some sort of like raw gourmet meal as like a cheat, you know, like stuff like that, or maybe they're eating a lot of bananas or mangoes. At some point they will reach a plateau. Now, if they came from a standard American diet, a diet full of animal products or dairy, then switching to a raw diet, they will have seen immense results, you know, clearing out of congestive factors from eating those, you know, processed foods or animal products from the past. But then you start to plateau. Your body really reaches the level of healing that it's able to go to, and able, you know, in its ability to remove lymphatic stagnation with that just raw diet, right? So then you have to go to the next level, which becomes eating more astringent fruits like grapes and watermelons and oranges and berries. Those 4 are the most powerful for the human body. But apples and peaches and pears and those types of foods, those are excellent as well. So you would want to focus more on that and kind of leave behind things that are more starchy in nature, like bananas and mangoes or dates or papayas. Those tend to slow detox down. This is what I've seen time and time again dealing with several different clients of mine. They've come to me in several different journeys. You know, some people have come to me doing dry fasting and being 100% fruit, and they've reached the plateau, right? And so they need and it's hard to know like what adjustments to make, you know, what adjustments to make when you've reached the plateau, because depending on where you are, I could probably tell you what changes you need to make, but sometimes it's not a change in the diet. Sometimes your diet can be perfect, right? And really, it's if you're not addressing your weaknesses with the right herbs and formulas, then you can reach a plateau in that way. So it's hard to say, because some people are following like their diet is pristine, their diet is excellent, exactly where it should be, and then I look at their case and, oh wow, you aren't addressing your pituitary yet, right? Or, oh my god, you're not digging deep enough with your lymph system. Or, oh, you haven't reached kidney filtration yet. It's because you need something stronger for that adrenal gland, you know, to open up the kidney channel. So it really depends on the person. Sometimes the diet and herbs are perfect and really they've just been lacking in detox tools. Or maybe it's an emotional component. Maybe they're so stressed out in their life. Maybe they don't have emotional support from their families or friends while they're on the diet. It can be several different factors. So you have to look at all that and see what's causing you that plateau. But do know that 90% of the time plateaus are natural and you just need to dig deeper and deeper, okay? Let me see. You know, a good surefire way to get out of a plateau is pretty much to fast, I guess. go on some type of fast. You just keep on trying out. If there's a type of fast that you haven't done yet, and there's different types of fast, now remember, there's healing properties for each fruit, okay? Oranges are really good at draining out the sinuses and the head and the lungs and the throat and decongesting that. So if you have issues of like, oh, you know, my memory is super poor, or I feel dizzy, you know, or I get ear infections, or I get sores in my mouth, or I have, you know, several teeth issues or sore throats, any symptoms to do with the head, then try out the oranges, right? Go on an extended orange fast. And depending on, you know, it says here that you've done fasts, but how long have your fasts been? Have you done 10-day fast? Have you done a 20-day fast? Then think about doing something like that, right? Always remember to break your fast correctly though. And now, for another type of fruit, if your issues are really stemming from the colon, or just general inflammation in your body, stiffness, acidosis, pain issues, maybe kidney issues, then you might want to think about doing, a watermelon fast. And these fasts, depending on what type of fast you've done, you can do a combination of eating the fruit and drinking the juice, or you can do just the juice, okay? So oranges, watermelons, grapes. If you haven't done a grape fast yet, really look into doing that. You can eat the grapes or drink the grape juice. Now realize that eating and drinking the fruit and the juice, that is a pretty good step. But know that drinking the juice by itself, only doing a mono fruit juice fast, is going to be even more powerful than just that. Now, one of the most powerful fasts that one can do, and this is really, this is the type of fast that I would recommend for someone, and this is speaking generally, okay guys? If someone really is having a hard time and they've done everything to try and remove a tumor or cancer out of their body, I usually recommend a lemon juice fast coupled with dry fasting when the time is appropriate. So hydrating the body for some time with the raw diet or the fruits, if the person hasn't done that yet, and then jumping into a lemonade and dry fasting sort of fast. That is the most powerful one, okay? So you really have to see and play around with things. And if you don't see any results, after a few weeks, if you don't see kidney filtration or the bettering of your symptoms, or at least some sort of movement, right? Because sometimes people don't always have to have things like cold and flu-like symptoms or detox symptoms to know that they're going down the right path and doing their detox correctly. The only detox symptom that you should really see, and is the most important one to see, is kidney filtration and elimination from your colon. Okay, so those two are the most important ones. Those two you must see. You must see mucus or parasites or sulfur or some removal of obstructions from your colon, and you must see, this is the most important one, you must see removal through your urine, through your kidneys, okay? If you see at least one or two of those, then you're good, okay? Because sometimes people can feel like they've reached a plateau because they're not seeing detox symptoms anymore, okay? And so that's not the case. You don't have to worry about that, right? And let me see what else. Detox tools can really help. If you're not doing the sauna yet, do the sauna. You can do hot and cold therapy, hot and cold in the shower, 1 minute hot, 1 minute cold in the shower. That can pump the lymph system. Including teas, 3-lung tea, heal-all tea, you can do that. That's really aggressive on moving and pumping the lymphatic system. But yeah, like I said, it's very individual. Detox will look different for every single person. Each person that comes to me, I issue them a different protocol. No, not one person has the same protocol, Maybe out of 1,000 people, like 2 or 3 people will have the same protocol, you know what I mean? So it's very individual and very different from person to person, okay? So let me see, I know it's frustrating. You said it leads you to just eat more balanced because you cannot handle the mental stress of trying to be so perfect on the diet and not seeing results. You don't have to be perfect 100% of the time. Now it depends on what you're trying to heal. If it's stage 4 cancer, you pretty much have to be perfect 100% of the time. But if it's not that, then you have some wiggle room. I say in these certain situations, you hit it hard, do some sort of fast, extended fast, and then pre-plan your breaks, pre-plan your cheats. After that fast, then plan ahead and say like, okay, after I break this fast, after I transition, okay, a little bit with the raw foods, then I'll give myself a day or two to cheat a little bit, okay? And more than I do, how your body handles cheats, okay? Some people cannot handle extreme cheats, like a sandwich or wheat or a mock meat or animal product. Some people cannot handle those cheats. Now, for safety and for detoxification purposes, I recommend a cheat that is not going to build too much acidity in your body. So I always recommend cheats to be vegan, as best as you can. I know you're dealing with things like parasites in your body that may make some people crave meats, but always include that parasite M and parasite G in your herbal protocol to make sure that the cravings are going down and down, okay, in your body. And then do a vegan plant-based cheat, and depending on what you're able to handle at that stage in your detox, then you can do that. For some people, a cheat can be a raw gourmet meal. For other people, it can be stir-fried vegetables. For other people, it can be a vegan soup. And it really just depends on what you're able to handle, right? So pre-plan those cheats, and then right after that, then you go into another fast and rip it apart. And at some point, remember, this is a time game. At some point, you're going to start seeing more and more results in that way. If you've been doing this detox diet for like 8 months now, around that time period, it can be very like, oh, am I doing things the right way? Or I'm exhausted, I'm so tired of detoxing, I'm tired of my diet being perfect and me having not healed my health issues yet. Remember, at this point, things can come back and your symptoms can turn their ugly face around at you when the acids are being pulled out of the chronic and degenerative areas of your body. So what you initially came into detoxification and into this diet to do, like initially, your symptoms go away and everything, you feel lighter and you feel better. And at that 8-month mark period or 7-month mark period, or sometimes for people that with strong constitutions, it could be 3 or 4-month mark period, somewhere in that middle range of your detox, you can start to experience the pain or experience the symptoms that you had before, okay? And that's because the lymph system was working on pulling things. And so it can seem like you've taken a million steps back, or that you're at a plateau, okay? But this is where you have to trust in the process, okay? And if you have any worries about whether or not you're doing things correctly, this is when you should get your entire body looked at and evaluated by someone like myself, like a detox specialist, to ensure that you are following the right diet, the right herbal protocol based on your weaknesses that we see in your eyes, and the right detox tools and the right types of fasts, okay? So I really hope that answered your question. I do my best, guys. I do my best to try and go in depth as possible, but I have like so much information in this little noggin of mine that I try to make things as simple and as easy as possible, right? And so thank you guys for sending in your questions. Thank you sis. Love what you do. Thank you. I do this because I really want to help you guys heal. I myself was suffering a lot a few years back, and sometimes I forget where I came from, how the level of suffering that I came from, because it was so intense that it honestly felt like another lifetime, like I didn't live through it, And when I start to think about it, like really think about it, like when I had to write my story in the book that I spoke to you guys about, the Master Your Detox ebook, it was tearing me up inside, reliving that, because it's like the emotions that I was in when I was in that serious body ripping pain when I have fibromyalgia. It was just so intense, right? So anytime I think about that, I get choked up, and especially when people come to me with those types of health issues. They can choke me up sometimes, right? But I stay strong for you guys, so you guys can heal. Okay, so thank you for your question. Okay, I'm gonna take some lemon juice. It's so hot in this room, guys. It's so hot because I've mentioned this in other videos before, but sometimes in some videos I turn the air conditioner off. Now, since I live in Florida, it's like 100 degrees outside, and so, but I really don't like, I don't want every video to have the sound of the AC on, so I suck it up and I stay in the heat sometimes for these videos. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Hi Ailin, I would love it if you could make a video on detox symptoms like canker sores, pain in mouth, restless legs, involuntary jolts of movements, biting mouth and tongue when chewing fruits, sleeping problems, rapid heartbeat, cold hands and feet, eye inflammation and floaters, brain not working, etc. How to alleviate these symptoms. Thank you. Love watching your videos. So grateful for all you do. Oh, thank you so much for watching the videos, and I hope you get a lot out of it, and I hope that you're making progress on your healing journey from the information shared on these videos. So yeah, so I'll be happy to answer this question for you. So it sounds to me like a lot of these issues are systemic, meaning you have symptoms everywhere in your body from head to toe. So let's break it down here, because a lot of these things are going to be locational, okay? So we can pretty much group up a lot of these symptoms together in one bunch, like canker sores and pain in mouth and biting mouth and tongue when chewing fruits, and eye floaters and inflammation, brain not working. All those symptoms right there, which is like 80% of the symptoms you're experiencing, have to do with the head area. And I'll tell you, even from personal experience, when I have fibromyalgia, I had 1,000, pretty much like 1,000 symptoms, right? And I had many of these symptoms that you're dealing with here. And many people dealing with chronic conditions and systemic acidosis, they are also dealing with issues like this in the clients that come to me all the time. Now, in order for you to address this systemic acidosis, which pretty much equals lymphatic congestion from head to toe, you have to realize that you've been building this up for many years due to the improper diet. Maybe you were eating a lot of proteins or processed foods or dairy or congestive foods. But all this, you can think of that as mucus building up here, okay? Making you feel like, oh, these eye floaters, floating around, that's really just lymphatic stagnation and mucus floating around in your eye, okay? Making you have feel like your brain is not working, maybe your mental agility is not where it should be, or mental ability isn't where it should be. So right there, you already know you have acids in that area, or inflammation, or maybe if it's been an ongoing issue of building up of all this acidity in the body, it could have created a brain lesion there. We could definitely see that looking at your eyes, right? Now, what I see when people have symptoms like this, like brain not working, eye floaters, canker sores, pain in mouth, all these different types of things, they usually have these lesions going up into the head region in the eyes. So if you were to picture your eye and the pupil's in the middle, right? And above the pupil, in that area, above your iris, that's the head region. Okay, so if you were to go up into the mirror and flash a light in your eyes and see if you have lines going up into that top part, then you know you have brain lesions. Those brain lesions can cause a lot of these things that you're dealing with here. So for instance, involuntary jolts of movements, involuntary jolts. Anytime you have like tremors or unconscious jerks or anything like that, I always take a look at the area called the motor coordination region in the brain, okay? If you have a lesion in that area, you know that you have to pull all that acidity from the head so that lesion can heal, but at the same time, really go in there with the upper circulation formula and brain and nerve formula so you can gain regeneration in that area. So sometimes there's an equilibrium cerebellum weakness or lesion going through that area as well. So you want to address that. But yeah, other things like canker sores, pain in mouth, definitely extreme acidosis if you have pain in your mouth. Now, that's very serious because I'm telling you guys, cancer is on the rise. You know, tongue cancer, mouth cancer, all those things. If you have pain in anywhere in your body, the next step is mutated or degenerated cells. Now, cancer, don't be scared of that. Throw that out in the trash can. You don't have to view it as something that you fear. What you do have to fear is acids in your body. Acids, because cancer is just a made-up word. Acids and degeneration, those things are actually real. So if you don't deal with acids today, you're going to experience mutation and degeneration tomorrow. You know, the destruction of your cells. So for right now, you want to bring down that inflammation. So there's a few things that you can do. Your diet, number one, has to be pristine, 100% raw foods, and I would recommend fruits. If you can handle it right now, do 100% fruits. If not, do your fruits during the day for breakfast and lunch, and then have a salad at night. Do not do any proteins. Do not eat any nuts or seeds or any sort of mock meats or beans or legumes or gluten or wheat, nothing like that, because anytime you eat that right now, your lymph system is backed up from head to toe. This is your cup is full. You cannot handle any proteins or any acidic foods right now because it's overflowing. Every time you eat that, you're going to experience more pain and more burning, more inflammation. So get rid of those foods that are the worst right now for you, right? The worst offenders, that's the word I'm looking for. Get rid of those worst offenders and clean and hydrate and soothe. Things that help with inflammation, watermelons are fantastic for that. So that's what it's looking to me like you need, is watermelons to just soothe and hydrate, okay? But any fruits right now are going to be good for you. Now, how to deal with canker sores and pain in mouth? What I would do if I were you, I would do all the detox tools related to your mouth. So get the heel tea, gargle, and swish with it. Leave it in your mouth for some time, right? And then spit it out. After a few minutes, spit it out. Because whatever you're spitting out, the heel tea with its astringent herbs would have already sucked that out of the gums and out of the tongue and everything. It pulls all that out. So spit it out. Do not swallow it, right? Do that several times a day. Now, you might experience some detox symptoms when you start doing that. If you experience some jaw pain or some tugging and pulling pains that you didn't feel before, know that that's detox. Now, if it's not too intense, it'll usually go away in a few minutes, right? But if it's too intense, then know that you can dilute the heel tea and not have it so intense, right? So instead of 1 teaspoon per every 2 cups, you can do like 1/4 of a teaspoon for every 2 cups, right? And at least do that daily. That's going to help you get rid of that acidosis that's causing the burn, the canker sores, because acids burn through tissues and can create all sorts of types of sores or lesions or adhesions in the body, right? So get that heel tea and do that. And now what it's telling me is since you're biting your mouth and tongue when chewing fruits often, it could be that you have severe inflammation in your tongue where it's kind of like it doesn't fit in your mouth anymore, or that could be involuntary movements and jerks like you're talking about, so the motor coordination. So address all that, get upper circulation, brain and nerve, get the kidney formula, lymphatic formula, and focus on those fruits and focus on that detox tool. That'll cover most of your symptoms that you've mentioned. Let's see what else. Restless legs. Restless leg. You have restless legs, so that's definitely pointing to lymphatic stagnation in the lower back region. What I see often is it's in the lumbar sacral region. That's the lower back, right? So if you can decongest that lower back by getting your kidneys to filter, then the nerve impulses going down your legs are going to be nice and smooth and open, right? It's going to be a fantastic flow. Lymphatic pressure in any region of the body can affect blood flow and nerve flow to the different extremities or to different locations or regions in the body, right? So you have to address that. You have to get your kidneys to filter, and then you'll start to see that restless leg go away. Now, you can include lower circulation formula that can help, promote all the flows down the legs, right? But at the same time, if I were you, I would incorporate some sort of stretching, some sort of movement, because if you're like, for instance, sitting down all day, then that can create stagnation in the lower back. And so you might just want to do like opening types of exercises like yoga to help open that flow up, right? Now, I have seen even, scoliosis or like any obstructions in the spine create this, right? So maybe you want to have your back looked with a chiropractor that is well, reviewed and is very experienced. And because just realize that adjustments made to the spine during detox, that can be fantastic if you're having issues like this. If you're having issues of like, oh, you have numbness down your hands and your arms and they're all tingly, and down your legs, then it could mean that you need just a little chiropractic adjustment. When you're on the raw foods, all you really need is like 1 or 2 adjustments, and you're able to keep your adjustments because it's acidosis that brings things out of alignment again, okay? I was talking to a client of mine recently, and she said, oh my God, it's one of my recent clients that I recently had a follow-up with her, right? And she said that before she came to me, she needed to go to a chiropractor every week to deal with her SI joint pain and discomfort every single week. And every single week, the chiropractor would say, you're out of alignment again. You're gonna need to do this like for forever, essentially, right? And then after going on the protocol that I gave her, the diet and herbal protocol, she said ever since that day, she hasn't had to go to the chiropractor for 2 whole months. And only recently she went back again, and then he told her, oh wow, like you've pretty much kept your alignment these past 2 months. What are you doing, right? And so she told him, and then, now he's recommending this protocol to his clients. So it's fantastic, the level of knowledge that like if you take this onto yourself and put it into practice, then you don't even know who else you're going to be influencing and saving. People's lives can be saved just because you took this into practice and took your health into your own hands, and it's infectious, right? This knowledge and just the magical, it is like it's magical, the magical healing of the fruits and the herbs, that's also very infectious, and it can spread, in the best way possible. So yeah, I do recommend that. Get your spine checked, okay? And let's see what else you have going on here. Sleeping problems. Okay, sleeping problems can stem from a few things. There's many different factors, okay? So when it comes to the organs and glands of the body, it can be an adrenal gland weakness, because if you're very stressed out, you won't be able to sleep. So you'd have to check your adrenal glands or go on an adrenal formula, right? If you have really low blood pressure, like extremely low, like 90s or low hundreds, over 60, 70, and that's very low and weak adrenals. You would definitely need a strong adrenal formula, and put some licorice root with that. Every 2 weeks, take a break every week, but every 2 weeks take some licorice root to see if that helps with that. So a 2-week cycle, 1 week off, 2 weeks on, 1 week off, and do that to see if your blood pressure goes up. So check your blood pressure every so often to see how that's doing. That is if your sleeping issues are coming from an adrenal weakness. Now, I think that they might be a pineal gland weakness, to tell you the truth, since it does seem to me like you have many brain lesions going up into the head region. So the pineal gland goes up in that region, right? So motor coordination, cerebellum, the pineal gland is right there. So most likely if you have a lesion there, you want to address your pineal gland. So get on a pineal gland formula would be my recommendation instead of taking melatonin. Do not take melatonin, because then that will weaken the pineal gland over time, okay? So yeah, I would recommend taking that every night before bed, the pineal gland formula, and see if that helps with your sleep issues. If it doesn't, then at least you have upper circulation, brain and nerve to address that pineal gland. It will depend, guys, on how strong your constitution is. For people that have very weak constitutions, they need a lot of formulas. They need all the help they can get, right, in order to move the body towards that right direction and healing. But people with strong constitutions, they can do very well with the diet and a good amount of herbs, not too many, a good amount, and they start just healing you know? So it really will just depend on what your constitution is. And you can see that looking at your eyes. If you have many lesions and very wavy fibers all over, many lacunas and holes, then you're gonna be someone with a weaker constitution. But don't let that stop you, because I've healed people, you know, I've helped you guys heal with weak constitutions. It just takes a little more time, a little more effort, but you're always gonna come out of that, you know, just stay strong. And then these other things, these other symptoms that you're telling me, rapid heartbeat, cold hands and feet, that's pointing to some thyroid weakness right there. So rapid heartbeat, the thyroid controls the heart rate of the body. Cold hands and feet, if you're someone with lower temperature, that's going to point to thyroid gland issues. So I would definitely include either the endocrine balance formula or the thyroid thymus tincture in there. Like I discussed in the other, you know, in previous videos, check for your thyroid function just by taking the basal temperature test to see what your temperature is around there. If you're low 97s, if you're not between 97.8 through 98.2 degrees Fahrenheit range, then you have low thyroid. Do not waste your time with blood work and blood tests when it comes to thyroid panels, because they're most often inaccurate. So just do the basal temperature test and then see if you need a thyroid formula. And like I said before, decongest the thyroid. You're probably very congested from here all the way up here regardless. So, you know, oranges and orange juice will help with that. And yeah, so your cold hands and feet, you see, a lot of times the mentality that other, you know, people from other modalities have is, oh, avoid raw foods if you're feeling cold. But I'm here to tell you guys, my hands and feet used to be cold ever since I can remember, right? And the only time they started getting warm again was when I was on the raw foods and detoxing and doing the herbs. Initially, no, it took sometimes, and sometimes I had to bundle up with sweaters and things like that. But when my thyroid started picking up and function again, finally, because I decongested all that mucus out of there, then guess what? My body temperature started warming up. My circulation improved in my body, and my hands and feet were warm, even when it was winter and snowing outside, okay? So don't let anyone tell you that, oh, you have to avoid raw foods or cold foods because you're cold. That's not the case, right? If you're cold, it has nothing to do with, you know, cold foods that you're eating. It has everything to do with your thyroid function and the circulation in your body, which the only thing that blocks circulation and proper blood flow would be, you know, coagulations inside the vascular system. If you have cholesterol plaquing or calcium deposits, that can block circulation issues, or just lymphatic pressure on the vascular system. Literally on the vascular system can cause poor blood flow. Also, inactivity can cause poor blood flow, and you know, cold hands and feet. But there's many factors, like I said. Going back to your sleep problems, just make sure that you're not on your phone a few hours before going to sleep, because that light, you know, weakens the pineal gland. And so try and control that. Control your time on things like laptops and cell phones and things like that. And then just use some essential oils, some calming essential oils to help you with your sleep problems, and you'll get it. But just remember, root cause, acidosis, drain all that out, get your kidneys to filter, everything will start to pick back and function again, okay? So yeah, so thank you so much for your question. And oh man, I didn't address your floaters. And if your floaters are very severe with the eye inflammation, just get the eye wash tincture, the eye tincture, and then put the drops in there, follow the instructions, and just do this. Just let that the herbs do its pulling action and pulling work, and do that until the eye inflammation goes down and the floaters go away. That formula works magnificently. I myself have used it many times in the past when I had eye inflammation and eye floaters, and that just gets rid of it fantastically while you're still trying to drain the head. Something else that I didn't address, like I said, guys, it's a lot of things, right? So bear with me. Just make sure that you're cleaning out your colon. Make sure that you're taking the stomach and bowel formula, and that you're seeing mucus and mucoid plaque and stools come out, okay? So I have an article on my website on mucoid plaque, what it is and how to get rid of it. So if you guys haven't checked that article out yet, look at it. I'm going to link it down in the description box down below so you guys can see what that looks like, and so you guys can get rid of this, because once you clean out your colon, it's magnificent how fast all your upper head issues start to clear up and heal completely. Okay, so yeah, that was the last thing. I think that was the last thing, right? Okay. And just make sure you decongest that thyroid, because with rapid heartbeat, oftentimes, well, I don't know, you didn't say if it's arrhythmias or if it's like, if it goes up and down, but it's either hyperactive thyroid or hypoactive thyroid. Since you have cold hands and feet, it's probably hypoactive, but just to make sure, decongest your thyroid in your throat area before you go on any sort of thyroid formula. If you go on a thyroid formula and your heartbeat starts to increase and doesn't go down like crazy, then don't go on a thyroid formula, okay? So these are the different little signs and hints that your body tries to tell you, like to tell you if you're doing something right or something wrong, okay? And if you're unsure, then just reach out to me, email me, or work with me one-on-one so we can get down to the root cause of all your health issues, okay? So yeah, hope I answered your question, and yeah, it was a really fun question, and I hope I helped you out. Ah, so hot in here. I hope you guys are eating your grapes. Eat your grapes now, because in a few months' time, no more grapes, remember? Okay. Let's see. Should I do another question? I'm not sure if this video is going to be too long, but I'll do one more question, okay? Great video. I have rectal cancer. I have changed my diet. I eat mostly fruit now. I was a big meat eater. Very toxic. I have done much fasting for the last 6 months. I stay away from chemotherapy, surgery, and radiation. Good. Don't go down that route, because I'm telling you, the people that have come to me that have gone down that route, ooh, you always have to, not only do you have to address all the acidosis and mutated cells from your advanced stage of cancer, but you also have to address all the chemicals and toxicity and radiation, that acidic burn from those procedures from the past. You have to then focus on detoxing that out on top of that, and it can just be too much for some people, and for some people the damage has already been done. So, you know, for those of you out there considering this, think twice and do your research when it comes to that, because the statistics don't lie. Going down that route with either chemotherapy or radiation or a combination of both, people normally experience their cancer coming back with a vengeance, the acids coming back with a vengeance a few years later, and cancer being in a much advanced stage. So it's not worth it, you know? Take it from me, because I recently had a client, like she's dealing with a breast tumor. It's quite large because she just didn't dig deep enough in her detox yet, you know? I put her on a very strong detox protocol this time around, but she's been, you know, doing a lot of greens and, you know, having some cooked foods. She's been vegan for 12 years. 12 years ago, they diagnosed her with breast cancer. And since day one, she changed to a vegan diet, right? But she's been doing a lot of different things and has not done this sort of like the deepest level of healing with true detoxification yet. So it's very exciting. But something that I had to commend her for was not going down the radiation or chemotherapy or surgical route, you know, and that was a decision that she made on her own from the very beginning. She's like, I don't want anything to do with that. And look at this. 12 years later, she's still great. You know, her health is fantastic. The only thing is that she has this tumor on her breast. All you have to do is really just go aggressive with the lymph system. That tumor is going to go straight down. But at least she doesn't have to deal with the burden of having had that done in the past. So, fantastic. That's what I recommend for people. Certainly that's what I would do if I was put in that situation. And like, yeah, with surgery, that doesn't get rid of the root cause. And you know, you don't want to go removing any part of your GI tract or colon at any way, shape, or form, because that's your main elimination system and your main system for absorption. If you start removing parts of your colon, how are you going to absorb the nutrition from your foods? How? It'll be impossible, and that'll be something that you'll have to live with for the rest of your life. Then those are matters where nutritional deficiencies will happen, and it's just a sad life that people have to live with after that. So props on not going that route. But really good. Okay, you change your diet, you're doing a lot of fasting for the last 6 months. That's what I recommend. Have you done grape fasting and lemon juice fasting? Because that's going to be really powerful. You said, I'm cleansing my colon, taking minerals and other supplements. I wouldn't take any minerals or other supplements, because any sort of isolated compound, the body does not recognize that, and it's actually going to view it as an outside obstruction, an outside factor. It doesn't know what to do to deal with it. So what does it do? It lodges it into tissues. I've seen a lot of people that have taken iodine supplementation, and we see that in their eyes now stuck. It looks like a rusty red color. So you don't want that, because that's congested to the lymph system and the tissues, wherever that deposit falls on, right? So I would recommend get away from the minerals and supplements mentality. Realize that you have everything you need from the fruits and the raw foods and the herbs. They're high in nutrition. It's nutrition that the body can recognize because it's real food. It's not going to treat it as something that's outside and foreign to itself. And at the same time, all these isolated minerals that you can take in a pill form, it's not even that the body just, lodges it away somewhere. To deal with it, it also has to leach out the opposite of what you intook, right? So like, let's say if you intake vitamin C, that's very acidic, very acidic in nature, ascorbic acid, right? What the body has to do in order to deal with that would be, this compound is very acidic, let's start leaching calcium from the bones or the structures or connective tissue to put that fire out. What does that result in? Prolapsing, hemorrhoids, connective tissue weakness, porous bones. You don't want that, right? So definitely get rid of any isolated minerals and supplements. That would be my answer. But good job at cleansing your colon. I hope you're cleansing your colon the proper way with herbs. I highly recommend the stomach and bowel formula and the GI broom to cleanse your colon and see if you're getting rid of a mucoid plaque or old hardened stools or parasites. If you were a big meat eater in the past and you had a very toxic diet, you most likely have a lot of parasites within. If I looked at your eyes, your bowels are probably chronically congested, maybe many radii solaris. Now, I don't normally say that's a sign of parasites, but from what I have seen, people that have that iris sign, when they detox, 9 times out of 10, they eliminate a lot of parasites, right? So make sure you're eliminating parasites. I would recommend the Parasite M and the Parasite G formula in order to do that. Okay, you said doing a lemon water cleanse also. Make sure it's just water and lemons, and that's it, right? You can add some cayenne pepper if you want. Sometimes people need maple syrup. You can do that too, but those are not necessary. You can just have a base of water and lemon by itself, and that's very alkaline and also very pulling to any sorts of tumors. What else could you recommend for me? The only other thing that I would add would be, if you are not on the herbs, get on the herbs, get on an herbal protocol, and check to see if you're filtering from your kidneys. That's essential to get rid of any sort of tumors in your body. And since it's in the rectum, in this situation, I would highly recommend some sort of enema and doing it with the Heal tea. So get the Heal tea, prepare an enema, and do that nightly. Or, something that you could do is suppository of the Heal tea and hold that in there, and depending on whether or not you have used this as well, you can do the internal black salve. You can take black salve internally, or what you can do is you can prepare an enema. Now there's different types of black salves out there, and I don't recommend using black salves without supervision because it's very, very strong. It can be a little bit of a scary process for some people. So with supervision, that's what I recommend while working with a detox specialist. But normally, if you can prepare with the directions that they provide for that particular black salve, you can do a preparation of enema with the black salve, and then do that enema, so see if you can pull that tumor out there. But really, black salve is like the last ditch effort. If nothing else has worked, then you can turn to that, and that's going to be very powerful, like I said. But and if you want to turn to that, at least do the other herbs for your kidneys in corresponding with that, because the black salve is pretty much lymphatic herbs, pretty much all lymphatic herbs. So you want to do the kidney formulas as well. Like I said in other videos, you want to hit those kidneys hard with as many herbal formulas as possible, and really depending on what I would see in your eyes, that would be the most accurate, right? So just from the information that you're telling me, that's what I can provide for you guys. But there's probably many other things that you haven't included in this question and in this comment. So do the best that you can with these recommendations. And yeah, if you haven't seen progress yet in a few weeks, then definitely email me so that we can help you out as best as we can. Okay, so yeah guys, I think I'm gonna leave it at that for this video. I think this video is probably maybe like 2 hours long, who knows, or an hour and a half. So I'm gonna keep it like that, and I'm gonna take a little break, and then I'm gonna go back to filming another type of video for you guys. Okay, probably later tonight after I get some work done. Okay, so guys, if any of you are out there that are suffering right now from any health issue, know that detoxification is the way that you've been looking for. Like, you've been going down all these different avenues and paths, and you finally found detoxification. So I would recommend go to my website, watch these videos, read the articles. If it clicks inside of you, if everything makes sense to you, and you know in your heart that this is the next way, then definitely start doing it. Start that detox path. And you have the support, you have these videos, you have the articles, but then if you want more support, you have the Detox ebook on my website, where I guide you on how to do things and how to get started. Or if you feel like you need more support, I recommend the Master Your Health package. You'll find that in the services tab on my website. And with that Master Your Health package, you get the the consultation with me one-on-one. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's a full in-depth consultation where I discuss everything that I found in your eyes, with your iridology reading. You get a written up iridology report, you get your diet protocol written up, an herbal protocol written up, and detox tools that you can use, right? Specific to you, and everything will be 100% accurate to take you to that next level in your healing journey. So I recommend that. And you guys can find all this on my website at www.spiritualhealing.com. As always, I'll leave everything in the description box down below. And if you guys like this video, give it a like, leave comments, leave your questions so that we can answer them, and I can discuss them in the next Q&A video. And yeah, I'm looking forward to uploading this video and for you guys to watch it, and so I can help you guys even more on your healing journey. So sending you guys all my love, and I hope you guys are having just a wonderful day. No matter what you're going through, it's going to be okay. You are pure love, you have love in your heart, and even if the outside world can seem a bit harsh at times, or you feel like you're in fear, you can always go back to that place inside of you that's full of peace and solace and stillness, and realize that you can never be hurt, you can never be broken, ever, ever, ever. That part inside of you can never be touched or harmed in any way, okay? And always just remember to be the light and shine the light to everyone. If other people, or if you're in the wrong crowd, or if you feel like you don't belong, then get out of that situation. No one says you have to stay anywhere that you don't feel comfortable in, okay? And never go down a notch to match the environment around you. Always bring everyone else up to where you want to be, okay? So yeah guys, that being said, I love you all so much, and take care. Bye.